So one thing I suggest when you first arrive at the track, especially if it's really hot, think about trying to set up first, just so you get everything you need to do in the morning, because in the morning there's riders meeting and whatnot. So as you can see, we are setting up the tents. We have the bikes ready. Yep, so just literally everything, tables or suit, just hang them all out. Morning! So today is Friday, which is usually practice, and I've already set up. You have to get your registration first and then get your bike prepped, put on the tire warmers, and put your suit on. Make sure you eat breakfast, check your tires, tire pressure, doing last thing you need to do with your bike, get it teched, and get ready. Okay. So I just got off the track and no idea where the fuck I'm going. It's counterclockwise. I am not familiarized with the track, and I think that's very important where you realize your shortcomings right now, and you work to get better at them. So my plan right now is to sit down, take a look at a map, and hopefully try to find someone who can take me out, maybe on a track, and we'll go from there, okay? So I was able to find an instructor and did a sighting lab, somewhat figure out the lines and where to turn and whatnot. Unfortunately, because it's almost like 100 and it's like 8 right now, or not even, my cooler sort of overflowed. So I have to take my bike out and sort of get that fixed. So as you can see, apparently my cooler overflowed, and now I have to take off my plastics. So you see, and check out my reservoir and my radiator and whatnot. Ugh. More work. Okay, so I've taken my fairings off, and I now have a fan, which I am trying to cool down the cat so I can take it off and take a look. Otherwise, if you take it off right now when it's really hot, then you can get burned, and you don't want to get burned because it's really hot. So it's ridiculous how hot it is, and if I didn't have trailers, I would be like dead right now. But anyways, I signed up for a 2-up ride. I personally feel that 2-up rides are super helpful for those track day providers that provide it. It's almost like you can see how fast you can go in each corner, and also where to place your bike and just the reference point they're turning in. I love it. Of course there comes with risks, but again, anything we do in life has risks, so I'm actually stoked about that soon. I gotta put my bike back together. Coolant's fine. It was just the overflow and stuff, and gotta put back my plastics. So as you can see, my bike is on that side, and yeah, see how it goes. So another thing I want to talk about is I know that, you know, with the whole COVID thing, we haven't been riding, there's no track day and whatnot, but Dave Moss always says quality over quantity. So I know the sessions are 20 minutes, but if you can only do like 4 really good laps, then it's a win, because once you start getting sloppy or your head's not in there because of dehydration or the heat, then you should be okay with that. Accept it, come in to your pits and just relax. Put in that effort, and then come in and work on something else, or look at the track map or something. I just finished cleaning out my fairings and my leathers. I am definitely heated up right now. It's Racer 2 practice. I'm not gonna make it, but I did sign up for Group B for this track day, so I'm just gonna chill out a little bit and then jump right back into it. again, it's really important that it's quality over quantity. You can do 200 laps, good for you, but no one really cares if, you know, you're not doing as good as you should, not hitting your reference point. You know, it's just that one little mistake. And on top of it, remember, drink electrolytes. So there's a misconception of people just drinking water. Water is great when your body is not also sweating that much. When you are sweating that much, your potassium, your sodium, all of your electrolytes are actually being flushed out. So ironically, if you only drink water and not replenish your electrolytes, you can literally go into cardiac failure and all that stuff with the potassium, calcium. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into all that, but drink anything like Gatorade, Pedialyte. I recommend like Pedialyte, or I drink liquid IV. I know some people use Noon, N-U-N, so whatever gets you your electrolytes. So yeah, alrighty. Earlier, I went on the 2-up. It was awesome. It was great. Did 4 laps. But boy, I came in, I was like 5-10 degrees hotter, and it was still the session, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get my bike and I'm gonna do it. I like came back to the trailer, and then I was like, hold on, I am like gonna pass out, but I knew my limit and that it wasn't gonna help me if I gone back out. So then I literally just chilling, and I would have filmed this a little bit earlier, but I was literally dying, you guys, like dying. See, the only time my skin's shiny is when there's sweat on it. But anyways, I am now refreshed. I am going to get ready for the next session, and I'll catch you guys later. Okay. Oh, my hands are shaking. Just finished my actual first official session. Felt pretty good. Really hot. Definitely a lot of corners I need to work on. But it's so, as you begin to ride a new track, this is sort of my new track. It's like the second time I'm here, but first time going counterclockwise. Last time I raced here in February was clockwise, so entirely different, sort of. Anyways, I know which sections I need to work on, and that's how you begin to build and work on each section, because, you know, there's like 17 turns in this place. You can't begin to work on all of them all at once. So word of advice, just pick a few things to work on and then go from there. Okay, so that was definitely my best session yet. I almost feel like that's second to the last one, but it was amazing. I pushed. I'm more familiar with the corners. Unfortunately, my last lap, so once you start shifting faster or getting more comfortable with the turns, you tend to shift harder, I guess, for me anyway. So I was pushing on it, so as you can see. So my gear, so this is like touching that, so I couldn't shift up. So gonna have Oscar help me fix that. But today's a success. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. But yeah. So the session's done. Actually, the day is done, and now what's left to do is make sure you do the checklist for racing tech inspection. Safety wiring, make sure all the bolts and drains and whatnot, valley pan and all that stuff. Once you are done with that, then you take it to get it done. Then you can race tomorrow. But yes. So, because I was a dumbass and did not bring my contacts, I'm going to see how practice goes. And based off of that, see if I'm still racing my 2 races. Yeah, sucks for me. So, practice has already begun. I am up next, and we'll see how it goes. Still not that hot right now. So, my bike is on the tire warmer. Set my tire pressures already, and we will see. just finished my first session. Didn't feel too bad. It was actually really good. Sometimes there comes a time where you have to decide what's best. So the factors are weather, how you're feeling mentally, physically. And one, these are all my fault. So one, forgot my contacts. Two, I need to change out my left rear set, my shifting side, because that one time I crashed, it went on the left. So part of my shifter, it gets caught in the rod sometimes. So that's horrible because if I can't downshift, then it's like really bad into corners. I went out, it wasn't too bad, but once I get more comfortable, I tend to shift harder. So it's sort of like, okay, now I have to make that decision. Do I want to do my races and whatnot? So I have decided that with like the temperature still going to get back up to 100, I think that it's best that I save the credit. So what CVMA does is if you do not finish, then it just rolls over for a year until the next time you're here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to race one race today, Saturday, and not race my second race today, and I'm not racing tomorrow. So unfortunately, it sucks, but I think it's the best choice. So it's okay. It's alright. I still have fun. I'm out here hanging out with everyone. Motorcycles in front of me. I mean, what's not to love? Okay, bye guys. So qualifying is coming up, and even though we just want to have fun, there's always just a little competitive edge. And even though I've been here only twice and now I'm relearning the track because it's counterclockwise, it's like, well, just do what you have and have fun. But not gonna lie, I'm like a little nervous, but well, go for it. So I finished my race and I fucked up on the start, and it was horrible. It was a neutral. So yeah, my bad. But then again, you only do it once and you don't do it again. So I had to make up the time. I was in last place. I caught up to 2 people, and technically I would have caught up to the experts in front. There were 600s. Super tired right now, debating if I wanted to do the next race, which is actually next. Like I already did first call. So now it's one of those decisions as a racer. What is your physical capability as well as your mental capability? Do you have enough of that without making a mistake? And I'm having a hard time right now. I don't know. So I might do the next race if I get some caffeine in me. There was lactic buildup in my thighs, and this is the most amazing benching ever. It just sort of like, ow, ow. Alright, we'll see what happens. So, Saturday race in the books. My first race was very bad. My bike was in neutral on the start. So, oh my god. So of course I was last. And there was 5 of us. 5 of us, yeah, on the grid. So I had a bad start, and I had to like definitely make up the time for that. I ended up coming in 3rd place, but I was pushing super hard. I'm glad that I made up a couple places, but it was fucking tiring. I mean, you literally have to put in so much physical work and mentally drained. There were a couple turns where I like I was just going way too hot and I was tired. I almost didn't have control for two corners, and that was bad. So then in my helmet, I'm like telling myself to focus and take a deep breath and then go. So focus, refocus, a very important skill as a rider. Yeah. So then my second race is race 8. So my first race was race 6. That doesn't give you a lot of time in between. And after the first race, I was exhausted. Like my friends were like, "Oh, you're gonna race the second race?" I'm like, Then I sort of walked away. I just had no mental or physical capacity, and I was able to recharge myself coming in, you know, just hydrating with electrolytes and 2 sips of Red Bull, get some caffeine, and I was good. But then when I went out of the trailer, race 8 started. What was crazy is I ended up going back to my bike, and a red flag was pulled. So a red flag is when they stop the whole race, people crash, and it's more serious. So that actually took a good like 10 minutes, and I wasn't going to race number 8, but then what happens is they have to restart the race. Ends up being like 5 laps instead of 6. So I actually got to just join in the restart, which, oh my god, it's crazy. I got some footage, so I'll be putting that together. But yeah, I definitely wasn't pushing it. I did a little bit, but definitely wasn't like my first race. I still think it's good, just getting seat time, just practice, and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Keep you guys updated. Bye. Morning. Today is day 2 of race day, and I'm exhausted. You can probably see in my face. Anyways, I am going to try to see how I feel in practice, and then from there, probably just do 1 race. So sometimes when you're tired or exhausted, you just have to muster up that energy inside and, you know, just go for it. And you don't have to make it all like super competitive. You can always just, you know, have fun with it and take it as practice. One of my friends, or actually everyone, always says you only get better if you have more seat time. So even though this is a new track to me and I might not be as competitive, but I can use that to make myself better. So, okay, wish me luck. Sunday races are done. Sometimes the hardest part is packing up after your races because you're exhausted in the heat, but it has to be done, so you do it. Packed and ready to go on the drive home, which is gonna be fucking 10 hours. So the day is done, and now all you have to do is make sure. Okay, so the session's done. Actually, the day's been done, and what you need to do now is
You like it, or else you wouldn't be hanging out with us.
You're on video.
I don't like that. That was like shit.